Hi, this is David from Heart of the Lion School of Martial Arts. I am always going to say that because if sometime in the near future I'm able to open up my own martial arts school, that's what it's going to be called. And I've had my own school. I've taught um, in several different schools. I have had my own school. I just mentioned that. And I've taught with grandmasters. And uh, I'm letting you know that uh, I would have to go back out to the car to grab my belt. I recently uh, passed my fourth degree black belt test. And I put up a short little video of part of that test on YouTube here. And I got uh, a reply saying, "Oh, this is a Mac Dojo," and blah blah blah. And this particular person has no flippin' idea about what it takes to pass such a test by a person of my age. I am 61 years old. The test actually took place on my birthday, but I didn't tell anybody uh, until the end of the test that that particular day was my birthday. So no, it wasn't given to me because of that, um, or any other reason. I have studied with Master Ashcraft for over a year to prepare myself for this test. Now, he has taken into account that I have a lot of knowledge of not only Taekwondo but other martial arts that I have learned over the years. I started in the martial arts when I was 6 years old. I started with Kung Fu, and I progressed from Kung Fu to um, Hapkido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido, um, Tong Sudo, um, several other martial arts, and I've studied with uh, a lot of grand masters. Um, and I do mean grandmasters. I mean people that were fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth degree black belts. And I have received black belts in a lot of those arts. In Kung Fu, I received a certificate that gave me the rank of Sifu. Um, Unfortunately, um, some of the documents that I've had that state all these ranks were lost in a house fire back in the late 80s. So, yes, all you have to go on is um, my uh, my word, and I have studied with, like I said, I've studied with several grandmasters, so I do have a lot of knowledge of these different martial arts and what to do in certain situations and so on and so forth. Locked away up here. I mean, it's not things you just forget. Um, the knowledge that I have spans a lot of different martial arts. I have had to use my martial arts in several situations over the years, um, since being in high school all the way up through um, being a 61-year-old guy that I am now. And um, I enjoy teaching. And granted, um, I may not be able to do a technique way up here uh, with a lot of force or anything, or even down low. But I have all of the knowledge on how to teach those techniques so a younger person or somebody who's in better shape than I am can do them. And I explain, excuse me, I explain how the technique is done to get it from point A to point B, and all the little innuendos in the middle. Today, I was at a martial arts class where there's a young man who, and I call him young because he's 10 years younger than I am. He's also a fourth degree black belt, and we split the class. He taught the first half of the class for stretching and warm up and forms, and I taught the second half of the class for doing self defense moves, and stuff that hasn't been gotten over in quite a while in the regular classes. And we treat a Saturday class like today is Saturday as our advanced class, or to get caught up on, or to um, hone in and really lock down some your forms, the perfection class. Um, we're uh, trying to get everybody so when we do a test or a demonstration or whatever it is, that we're all doing it properly and so on. Well, anyway, when I saw this comment on the little snippet of um, a video that I put up for a part of my our test on that particular day, and he said, "This is a Mac JoJo," and blah 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 blah. It really pissed me off because this particular person has no idea, and I do mean, um, I on that particular day, I lost a tooth. I tore a hamstring muscle in the back of my knee. Uh, uh, the test was 2.5 hours long, actually a little longer than 2.5 hours, and believe me, I was huffing and puffing and practically ready to pass out by the end of class test. And so was my partner, who was also going up for fourth degree black belt. And we did what they call a two-man form, where um, we have to make a fight scene up where we have to make it look as real as possible. I don't know how you can do that, but we did our two-man form, and granted, it wasn't perfect, but it came out pretty well, and it was a combination of between his moves and my moves over 60 moves long. And we we did it pretty well. Um, and the other things that were not shown on the video that I put on on the air, it did not show the board breaking we all had to do. It did not show all the sparring that we had to do. It did not show uh, a lot of the other things that we had to do in order for us to do our test. And I even had to give a 5 to 10 minute talk on, my talk was on the theory of power and how it can be used in battle. And I did a 10-minute talk, and I was interrupted in the middle of my talk by the master, but we went on, and I was able to finish my talk, and we were able to complete our tests. We had a young lady who actually threw her shoulder out of joint in the middle of her test, and then she was asked to do a few breaks, and she actually, with a dislocated shoulder, she still did her breaks and passed that part of her test. She was going up for second degree black belt, and she passed. So did the other young lady that was at that test. She also passed. My good friend Scott passed, and I passed my test. And we all were very, very sore and broken and wanting to pass out by the end of the test. Uh, like I said, it is really hard to do in a 2.5 hour test. And to test someone on their abilities and things that they've learned over the years uh, in a single afternoon, you can't. Okay, that would take 4, 5, 6 days. But the instructor who's instructing you and that watches what you do and how you answer questions and knows what you know because he was the teacher, or even if he wasn't the teacher of the things that you know, that you have expressed and shown in the class, your instructor's gonna know whether you're ready for your next test or not. And he was very much emphatic that I took my test along with my friend Scott, that we were both more than just ready to take our test. Granted, in the year that I started off with um, Steve Ashcraft, who is a ninth degree black belt in Taekwondo. Uh, he knows his stuff. He is a uh, champion in the MMA uh, fighting ring. I don't particularly care that he's a champion. What I care about is how well he's able to teach and how well he is able to partake. I'm because of my age or whatever. Sometimes it gets hard for me to say things. So he partake. He partakes. He I, he gives us his knowledge. He shares with us what he knows. He demonstrates uh, with a high amount of skill um, the things and the techniques that he wants us to learn. And we have to be able to, as good students, absorb this knowledge and take it to heart, where we use the knowledge that we're given in a positive kind of way. So, to all of those who may watch this video, I say, uh, when you're looking at little snippets of a test, no matter who is the one being tested, you don't know what their instructor knows, and on whether or not that person who was being tested was ready for that test. I personally would have loved to have just spent the next 5-10 years just working on all the techniques and forms and stuff like that, and um, not worry about what kind of belt I've got, or so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm proud that I made it through a fourth degree black belt test, and I'm proud that I passed that test. Um, those of you who just see this squatty little 5'5" short, husky, chunky dude sitting in front of you may not uh, understand why somebody like me would go through that kind of thing. Well, I personally decided a while ago that I'm out of shape. I got to do something to get back into shape. So when I was growing up, um, I studied Taekwondo from Grandmaster David Erler. And he has many videos here on YouTube that you might want to go and check him out. Right now, he's in his 70s. Um, uh, because of COVID, his martial arts school had closed. So I don't know if it's had a chance to reopen or whatever. But up until that point, he was still teaching. Um, I think if I'm in my 60s, he's about 75, 76. He's about 16 years older than I am. And uh, he's a grandmaster in the Lebanese American Taekwondo Federation. He was also a grandmaster in the ITF. But because of politics, he decided to break off and go his way and let the ITF go their way. He has well over 100,000 black belts at different schools in different parts of the world. And he's still the Grand Master, and I thank him for all of the knowledge that he has imparted I think is the word, into me. Um, I was with him from the age of 15 till I was about 38 years old when I moved to Texas. And if you go to my website, Heart of the Lion M A dot mysite.com, you'll be able to uh, read and check that out. Well, anyway, I've been babbling enough, so I'm going to say bye, and may all the forces be with you. Um, Live long and prosper and all that good stuff. And, well, my favorite shows were always Star Trek and Star Wars. And, yeah, well, anyway. Y'all have a good day now.